Hi everyone, I'm Noctis Kyrios, and today we're going to be reacting to some more collected Miscellany videos. And I'm super excited to continue covering this and reacting to them. And I can't wait to finish reacting to all of the rest of the Sumeru characters in this video. I'm just super excited, and I hope we get to move on to Fontaine in this video. A little bit of an introduction about who I am if you don't know who I am. I'm Noctis Kyrios. I've been a singer here on YouTube for about 6 years now, and I've also been a Punishing Gray Ribbon player for about 2.5 years now. So yeah, I'm super excited to dive in, and let's go. Athelheim. I can't pronounce. I keep forgetting how to pronounce his name. Fuck. Athelheim. Profound reasoning. I'm sorry if I butchered that, but let's go.
Scribe Alhaitham can be the easiest person in the academia to communicate with, or the most frustrating. He ignores the irrelevant and filters out the fluff, focusing solely on the logical steps and appropriate process for the task ahead. For his more pragmatic colleagues, this makes him a joy to work with, though not everyone shares their enthusiasm.
Let's get down to business.
Most scholars would jump at the opportunity to use a vision to further their research, and I thought Alhaitham would be no exception. Yet to my surprise, he prefers to use his elemental powers not for research, but to deal with other issues that arise in life. Thinking a step ahead of everyone else is bound to reap benefits. When Alhaitham crafts weapon ascension materials, he has a chance to receive double the product, boosting the party's adventure readiness. Alhaitham's normal attack can combo up to 5 strikes with his sword, dealing physical damage.
Oh, he's a sword wielder.
Using his charged attack,
Did not expect him to be a sword wielder.
And performs 2 swift slashes to his front, dealing physical damage.
Okay.
Tap Alhaitham's elemental skill to rush forward, dealing dendro damage to nearby enemies when the rush ends, as well as creating a chisel-like mirror. Holding the skill enters aiming mode to adjust the direction of the attack. When this skill is cast, Alhaitham generates 1 chisel-like mirror, plus 1 additional mirror if he possessed no mirrors at the time of casting.
Okay.
Up to 3 chisel-like mirrors can exist at one time.
He looks cool as hell.
While he possesses chisel light mirrors, Alhaitham's normal, charged, and plunging attacks will be converted to dendro damage that cannot be overridden. When one of these attacks hits an enemy, the chisel light mirrors unleash a projection attack that deals AoE dendro damage based on the number of mirrors on the field. Chisel light mirrors will disappear in turn over time, and will all disappear when Alhaitham leaves the field. After unlocking the talent For Causal Correction, when Alhaitham's charged and plunging attacks hit enemies, they will generate 1 chisel-light mirror. This effect can only occur once in a specified period.
A process of elimination.
Alhaitham's Elemental Burst creates a particular binding field that deals multiple instances of AoE dendro damage.
Yo, that all looks
sick. If any chisel-like mirrors exist when this ability is used, they are all consumed to increase the number of damage instances dealt.
Yo, that looks amazing.
Shortly after this ability has finished, if no mirrors were consumed, then Alhaitham will generate 3 new mirrors. For every mirror that was consumed by this skill, Alhaitham will generate 1 less new mirror accordingly. When surrounded by mirrors, it takes a perceptive eye to distinguish reality from reflection. After unlocking the talent Mysteries Laid Bare, each point of elemental mastery that Alhaitham possesses increases the damage dealt by his projection attacks and elemental burst. Damage can only be increased in this way up to a certain limit. To Alhaitham, remaining rational under pressure is the key to solving difficult problems. Luckily for him, this is an ability that few of his foes possess. Alhaitham's combat strategy is centered around the efficient use of his chisel-light mirrors. His elemental skill allows him to quickly traverse the battlefield, while dealing dendro damage to enemies and generating chisel-light mirrors.
Alright.
Then Alhaitham can use these mirrors and their projection attacks to easily gain the upper hand. When energy is full, Alhaitham unleashes his elemental burst, creating the particular binding field and dealing several bouts of AoE dendro damage. If he possesses no Chiselite mirrors at this time, some are generated after he has used his burst, allowing him to follow up with more attacks. If he already has mirrors when he casts his burst, then he is able to deal more dendro damage and swiftly seize victory.
Damn, okay. So he's like a
comfortable
DPS,
life looks
okay.
much the same for everyone, but the people who lead those lives may be nothing alike at all. A sharp mind and a good attitude have benefited Alhaitham immensely in his pursuit of the good life. It is not my place to judge how other people live. If anything, the more I say, the more jealous I would sound. The truth is, I have nothing against a laid-back lifestyle. It reminds me of a simpler time. But unfortunately, not all creatures are capable of being rational and logical in everything they do. Alhaitham's approach only works in the context of his relatively simple existence, and that is completely fine by him.
Okay. Okay, so he's a relatively simple guy. I like him. His animations are amazing. I dig his animations, especially his ult. His ult is amazing. That was sort of like domain expansion type of deal. Like, man. And like sort of almost hard light in a sense. Looks almost hard light, and it's like mirrors and stuff. I like that. I like the whole idea that the damage refracts off of like mirrors and stuff. I love that. And I saw that he wielded 2 swords at one point. And I'm very much a fan of dual wielding swords. You know, I'm definitely, if Alhaitham comes by anytime in the future, I'm definitely pulling him. 100%, man. Because he looks awesome. And he's 100% going on my team. That said, great stuff. And now let's move on to the next video. Yao Yao, Sweet Clouds of Osamanthus. Let's go.
Yao Yao is the youngest of Streetward Rambler's disciples. Liyue's Adepti are a strange group. You'll never see most of them setting foot anywhere near the city, and yet the instant they find a human whom they take a liking to, they'll come flocking in, teaching Adeptus arts one day, and lavishing them with gifts the next.
Oh, he's from
One
Liyue,
of these
okay.
favored few is Yao Yao, a young and enthusiastic disciple who is thriving under their care.
I'll take good care of everyone.
Aw, she's so cute.
Yao Yao's young age posed no obstacle to her making contact with the Adepti. In fact, they were thoroughly won over by the young child's inquisitive nature. One Adeptus in particular was especially delighted when she saw how Yao Yao used an Adeptus contraption, Uegwe, in conjunction with the power of her dendrovision. Even though the sound of bells follows Yao Yao wherever she goes, the wildlife is never disturbed by her presence. When Yao Yao is in the party, your characters will not startle crystal flies, lizards, and certain other animals when approaching them. Yao Yao's normal attack can combo up to 4 strikes with her polearm, dealing physical damage. Using her charged attack, Yao Yao consumes a certain amount of stamina
she almost
to
stumbled
lunge
over.
forward, dealing physical damage to enemies along the way. Tapping her elemental skill summons the Adeptus contraption Uegwe throwing mode to assist Yao Yao in combat. Hold the skill to enter aiming mode and control Yao Yao's throwing direction. Uegwe throwing mode throws out white jade radishes that will explode upon hitting characters or enemies, dealing dendro damage to enemies within a certain AoE, and healing characters within that same AoE based on Yao Yao's max HP. If a radish does not hit either an enemy or a character, it will remain where it landed and explode on contact with a character or enemy, or after its duration expires. Uegwe throwing mode will select the target for the white jade radish depending on the surrounding combat situation. If nearby characters have relatively high HP, it will target an enemy. If there are any nearby characters whose HP has dropped below a certain percentage, it will target the character with the lowest HP percentage.
Okay.
And if no enemies are nearby, it will target a character even if their HP is relatively high. a maximum of 2 instances of Uegwei throwing mode can exist at any one time. After unlocking the talent In Others' Shoes, when a white jade radish explodes, active characters within its AoE will regain HP at set intervals, based on Yao Yao's max HP. This effect lasts for a limited duration.
Oh, so that looks cool. Oh, that's good. She seems to be a support
Per the
character.
instructions of a certain Adeptus, Yao Yao casts her elemental burst in emergencies to unleash Uegwei's full potential, dealing dendro damage to nearby enemies and entering the Adepta Legacy state. In this state, the White Jade Radish's healing and damage effects are modified to their elemental burst variants. Exploding radishes now heal all nearby party members, and the dendro damage that they deal is treated as elemental burst damage. Yao Yao's movement speed and dendro resistance are increased while in the Adepta Legacy state. Also, Yao Yao will summon Uegwei jumping mode at intervals until the maximum of 3 instances has been reached. Jumping mode Uegwei behaves in the same way as the throwing mode Uegwei produced by Yao Yao's elemental skill. The Adepta Legacy state will end when Yao Yao leaves the field, and all instances of Uegwei jumping mode will be cleared when the state ends. In the eyes of a child, stars shining in the night may seem like little white fruits scattered across the sky. After unlocking the talent Star Scatter, when Yao Yao is running, sprinting, or jumping in the Adepta Legacy state, she will constantly throw white jade radishes at nearby enemies.
Okay.
Only 1 white jade radish can be produced in this way within a set duration.
Alright.
Radishes may not be a miracle cure, but they are always a healthy option. Well, I'm no expert, but Yao Yao will assure you that this is the case. In battle, Uegwei is Yao Yao's trusty helper, providing flexible support to the team depending on the situation. Yao Yao's elemental skill summons Uegwei throwing mode to heal her teammates or assist them on the offensive as necessary.
Okay.
When energy is full, Yao Yao unleashes Uegwei's full potential, dealing dendro damage to enemies and entering the Adepta Legacy state. In this state, Yao Yao summons Uegwei jumping mode, generating more white jade radishes to help get her teammates out of a tight spot. I am a self-confessed pessimist and refuse to believe that all children have hearts of gold. But Yao Yao certainly turned out well. Pure, innocent, and compassionate, she never fails to extend a helping hand to anyone in need. Fortunately for her, helping those around her is well within her abilities. She hasn't experienced many setbacks in her life so far. And given her positive attitude and the care and support from her Adepti guardians, it is unlikely that any setback could ever pull her down.
Huh.
Humans may have their weaknesses, but that doesn't mean that they are easily broken.
True. Very, very true. Aw, that was cute. I liked her. She was incredibly cute. That was an incredibly cute trailer. Her animations were just overall cute, and I loved it. And from what I understand and what she looks like, she kind of looks like a support character. Considering that she can, she helps allies heal and stuff. So, I'm curious how good she is as a healer and stuff. But just overall, man, she seems just super cute, and I might pull her if her banner ever rolls around. But yeah, other than that, just super cute and great, and I loved it. But yeah, let's move on to the next video. Dehya, Passion of the Burning Sands. Let's go.
Anyone who wanders the world will tell you that there's nothing like a dependable travel companion to make the journey easier and safer. Especially if it's someone like Dehya, a mercenary from
Dehya.
Sumeru. Though she may see herself as just one among many, she is no ordinary mercenary.
Hey, yo, let's
Her
go.
sharp mind, bravery, and honesty are rare qualities that truly make her a rose among thorns.
Got a job for me?
Raised among mercenaries, Dehya has a wealth of experience under her belt and outstanding combat capabilities. She effortlessly combines swordsmanship, hand-to-hand combat, and the power of her pyrovision in battle, as she skillfully completes an eclectic range of jobs while keeping her client protected.
Alright.
By choosing the right moment to act, risks can be avoided and tasks completed more efficiently. Placing Dehya in your party increases the movement speed of your own party members between the daytime hours of 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. This talent does not take effect in domains, trounce domains, or the Spiral Abyss. Dehya's normal attack uses both her claymore and her fists to combo up to 4 strikes that deal physical damage to enemies. Using her charged attack, Dehya drains stamina over time to perform continuous rapid slashes, finishing with an especially powerful slash. Dehya's elemental skill has different effects depending on the present combat situation. When there is no fiery sanctum field created by Dehya herself currently present in combat, her elemental skill will cast Indomitable Flame, dealing AoE pyro damage and creating a fiery sanctum field. If a fiery sanctum field created by Dehya is currently present in combat, her elemental skill will unleash Ranging Flame, which performs a leaping attack that deals AoE pyro damage before recreating the fiery sanctum field at her new position. A field created in this way will inherit the remaining duration of the previous field. Ranging Flame can be used only once within a single fiery sanctum field's duration. When an enemy within a fiery sanctum field takes damage, the field will unleash a coordinated attack, dealing AoE pyro damage to them based on Dehya's attack and max HP. This effect can be triggered once per set time period. Active characters within the fiery sanctum field gain increased resistance to interruption. When characters in the field take damage, a portion of that damage will be redirected into Redmane's blood. Dehya will then take this damage after a time. When the redirected damage stored by Redmane's blood reaches or exceeds a certain percentage of Dehya's max HP, no further damage will be redirected. Only one fiery sanctum, created by Dehya herself, can exist at a time. After unlocking the talent Stalwart and True, when her HP falls below a certain amount, Dehya recovers a percentage of her max HP, then continues to recover a portion of max HP at regular intervals for a set duration. This effect can be triggered once per set time period.
You're dead meat!
When Dehya casts her elemental burst, she unleashes her burning rage, casts her unwieldy blade aside, and enters the blazing lioness state, increasing her resistance to interruption. In this state, Dehya automatically unleashes a series of Flame-Mane's fists, dealing pyro damage. When the duration ends, she executes an incineration drive, dealing AoE pyro damage. All damage dealt by Flame-Mane's fists and incineration drive is based on Dehya's attack and max HP. Also, while in this state, Dehya will be unable to use her elemental skill or perform normal, charged, or plunging attacks. Her normal attack and elemental skill will be replaced by Roaring Barrage. Using Roaring Barrage shortly after each Flame-Mane's fist will increase the attack speed of the next Flame-Mane's fist. If a fiery sanctum field created by Dehya's own elemental skill exists when she unleashes her elemental burst, Dehya will retrieve it, then recreate the field once Blazing Lioness's duration expires. The recreated field will inherit the remaining duration of the retrieved field. After unlocking the talent Unstinting Succor, for a short period after Dehya retrieves a fiery sanctum field using Molten Inferno Ranging Flame or Leonine Bite, she will take decreased damage when absorbing damage from Redmane's blood. This effect can be triggered once per set time period. Additionally, for a short period after Dehya unleashes Molten Inferno Indomitable Flame, she will grant all party members the Gold Forged Form state. This state will further increase characters' resistance to interruption when they are within a fiery sanctum field. This state can be triggered once per set time period. Although her reputation as the Flame Mane has spread far and wide, Dehya has never aspired to fame. Rather, her focus is on consistently completing each job entrusted to her and on protecting those around her. Dehya's combat strategy is centered around her elemental skill. She starts by using it to create a fiery sanctum, which assists teammates in combat by redirecting damage away from them and providing coordinated attacks. At an opportune moment, she uses Ranging Flame to deal another bout of AoE pyro damage to enemies. When energy is full, Dehya unleashes her elemental burst and enters the Blazing Lioness state. In this state, she uses Roaring Barrage to increase the attack speed of Flame Main's fist, before finishing with an Incineration Drive,
Alright.
overpowering her foes with her Flaming Lioness Claws. Collecting payments and completing commissions is a mercenary's bread and butter, but the commissions undertaken by mercenaries differ from those handled by adventurers. Mercenary commissions are more commercial in nature, and the tasks involved are more varied. Many criminals, heroes, and other larger-than-life figures emerge from this trade as the euphoria of strength and success goes to their heads. But not so with Dehya, who knows that delusions of grandeur only make surviving in the treacherous mercenary world all the more difficult. As someone who began life in the desert, Dehya has been confronted with
Okay,
issues
so
of
she does have a
belief
good head
and
on her
forced to
shoulder-
make
on
difficult
her shoulders.
decisions on many occasions. She may wear a stern gaze, but she treats others with fairness and generosity.
Okay, that's
I would
good to
even
know.
say that she, of all mercenaries, is a pioneer of living a genuine life, attuned to the realities of the world around her.
Okay. She seems pretty cool, man. I'll be honest. She seems pretty damn cool. I will not lie. I love that she used her fists, man. I love that she uses like a claymore in her fists. And her punching animations look amazing too. Especially in the lioness punch state or whatever. After she casts her ult. And I like that she's able to speed up her attack speed too. She honestly, I love, boxing / punching characters in general. Although I did hear about that she isn't exactly meta and stuff right now, but I don't care. I'm 100% pulling for her whenever her banner shows up. I'm 100% saving for her right now. I also liked her design too. Her design is amazing as well, man. It's just great. Anyways, let's move on to the next trailer. Mika, Constellatory Companion. Let's go.
It was good news for the Knights of Favonius when frontline surveyor Mika returned from the expedition. Not only did he come bearing news of his team's well-being, but his presence brings everyone a general sense of security. After all, it's always good to have an efficient mapmaker on hand, just in case a certain someone blows another mountaintop or ancient ruin into oblivion.
All right. Everything's ready.
As the reconnaissance company's frontline surveyor, Mika's primary duties are pathfinding and surveying, and he also has a hand in logistics. A keen observer and a cautious operator, Mika keeps one eye on the enemy's weak points and the other on his teammates' health during battle. By marking useful resources on a map, a platoon can be ready to resupply at any time. When Mika is in the party, the location of items unique to Mondstadt will appear on your minimap, making it easier to gather resources.
Okay.
Mika's normal attack can combo up to 5 strikes, alternating between the crossbow and polearm, dealing physical damage. Using
So he's
his
a crossbow
charged
and
attack,
polearm
Mika
user.
consumes
Okay.
a certain amount of stamina
Did
to
not
lunge
expect
forward,
that.
dealing physical damage to enemies along the way. Tap Mika's elemental skill to fire a Flow Frost arrow, which pierces through opponents and deals cryo damage to enemies it hits. Hold the elemental skill button and Mika takes aim at an enemy, then fires a Rhyme Star flare at them, dealing cryo damage. After impact, the Rhyme Star flare will rise, explode, then fire Rhyme Star shards at a maximum of 3 other enemies, dealing cryo damage. Additionally,
Okay.
Mika's elemental skill grants the Soul Wind status to nearby party members. Active party members with the Soul Wind status benefit from increased attack speed.
Let's keep going, team.
Okay, so he buffs attack
Mika's
speed.
elemental
Okay.
burst draws courage from the Knights of Favonius' prayers to spur on his teammates, restoring health to all nearby party members based on his max HP, and granting them the Eagle Plume status.
He's the support character.
When
Okay.
an active character with the Eagle Plume status strikes an enemy with a normal attack, Mika heals them by an amount based on his max HP. Characters can only be healed in this manner once per set time period. Having a clear lay of the land confers a huge advantage for comrades in battle. After unlocking the talent Suppressive Barrage, the Soul Wind status from Mika's elemental skill has a chance to grant the Detector buff, which increases physical damage dealt by the active character. When Mika's Flow Frost arrow hits more than one enemy, one stack of detection is gained per additional enemy hit. A detection stack is also gained when a Rhyme Star shard hits an enemy. Only one stack can be gained per shard. Soul Wind's Detector buff has a maximum of 3 stacks. If Mika's elemental skill is used again while Soul Wind and Detector are still active, these effects are cleared. After unlocking the talent Topographical Mapping, an active character under the effects of both the Eagle Plume and Soul Wind statuses will gain 1 stack of Detector upon landing a crit hit on an enemy. Only 1 Detector stack can be gained in this way during a single instance of Soul Wind. Additionally, the maximum number of Soul Wind's detection stacks is increased by 1. Mika's near-constant experience in live combat has molded him into someone his team can depend on. In battle, Mika uses his elemental skill to unleash either a Flow Frost arrow or Rhyme Star flare, dealing cryo damage to enemies and providing the Soul Wind status to teammates. Once active, Soul Wind's Detector buff helps his teammates to rise to the challenges of the battlefield. When energy is full, Mika unleashes his elemental burst to provide an extra level of support to all his nearby teammates, restoring their HP while also granting them the Eagle Plume status. By healing his teammates via Eagle Plume as they dish out their normal attacks, Mika ensures that they complete their mission and are patched up and ready for the next. To stay on course, one must have a clear view of the way ahead. This may sound trivial, yet how many walk blindly down their paths? Mika may not excel at speaking, but nothing escapes his sights. As he matures and grows in resolve, he will develop great potential to lead others.
Okay.
Still, despite his remarkable talent, Mika could find his ability to command the respect of others undermined by his lack of self-confidence. But who knows what the future will bring? Maybe there really will come a day when Mika finally musters the courage to refuse the menial tasks that Varka habitually foists off onto him.
Okay. Alright. That was decent. I'm not gonna lie to you, that was pretty decent. Not the greatest or anything, but still decent. Decent enough. I'll be honest, not my favorite character. Mika's kind of boring to me. At least gameplay wise. And just character design wise and just character wise, I'll be honest. Seems a little boring. I'm sorry for all you to all Mika enjoyers that heard that. I apologize, but that's just my real thoughts on him. Doesn't really seem like someone I would go out of my way to pull for, honestly. Anyways, let's move on to the next trailer. Baizhu, Opportune Remedies. Let's go.
It's said that chronic illness makes a medical expert out of the patient. This would seem to ring true for Baizhu, a skilled doctor of weak constitution. But delve a little deeper and one is left questioning the true relationship between Dr. Baizhu's ailments and expertise.
Time for a house call.
To heal the sick is a doctor's lifelong calling, Baizhu constantly monitors the well-being of those around him, treating ailments when the earliest symptoms arise. His dendro vision enables him to protect his teammates and provide a range of treatments to suit any scenario. Baizhu's familiarity with the medicinal effects of common herbs is useful knowledge during medical emergencies in the wild. When Baizhu is in the party, interacting with certain harvestable items will heal the active character, meaning more time spent adventuring and less spent recovering. Baizhu's normal attack can perform up to 4 frontal strikes that deal dendro damage.
Okay.
His charged attack consumes a set amount of stamina to deal AoE dendro damage in front of him after a short casting time.
Okay,
Upon
he's a
casting his
catalyst. Makes
elemental
sense.
skill, Baizhu sends a gossamer sprite to cruise and attack nearby enemies, dealing dendro damage. After it performs a certain number of attacks, or if there are no enemies nearby, the sprite will return.
Okay.
Upon its return, the sprite heals all nearby party members based on Baizhu's max HP. After unlocking the talent 5 Fortunes Forever, Baizhu's abilities are enhanced in different ways depending on the active character's current HP.
Oh, he's a heal.
If their HP is less than a certain
Oh, he can
percentage,
heal. Okay.
Baizhu's healing bonus is increased. If their HP is equal to or more
Oh,
than
he
a
can
certain
heal off
percentage,
attacks. Okay.
Baizhu's dendro damage bonus is increased.
That's interesting.
Taking a turn for the better.
When Baizhu casts his elemental burst, he enters the pulsing clarity state, creating a seamless shield that absorbs dendro damage with increased effectiveness. While the pulsing clarity state is active, a new seamless shield is generated at regular intervals. While a character is under the protection of seamless shield, whenever the shield regenerates, expires, or is destroyed, the active character is healed based on Baizhu's max HP. At the same time, spirit veins are unleashed, which attack enemies, dealing dendro damage. Medicine is a vast and complex discipline whose methods range from the strictly therapeutic to the thoroughly transformative. After unlocking the talent All Things Are of the Earth, when a character is healed by Baizhu's Seamless Shield, they will gain the Year of Verdant Favor effect, which increases damage dealt by burning, bloom, hyperbloom, burgeon, spread, and aggravate reactions triggered by that character.
Okay.
The size of the damage boost depends on the elemental reaction, and scales off of Baizhu's max HP up to a certain limit. This effect lasts for a limited duration. Baizhu avoids life and death battles like the plague, and does his utmost to stop comrades from becoming casualties. In battle, Baizhu casts his elemental skill, sending out a gossamer sprite to deal dendro damage to enemies, and heal all nearby party members upon its return. When energy is full, Baizhu enters the pulsing clarity state by providing protection and healing for his teammates with his seamless shield, and also unleashing spirit veins to deal dendro damage to enemies. Baizhu gives his team healthy odds of finishing the battle in one piece.
Okay.
Humans typically live short lives. People chase after immortality for countless reasons, most of them selfish in nature, but Baizhu defies the norm. I know of no one else who yearns for eternal life as a means to endure limitless suffering. Perhaps this stubborn defiance is necessary to practice medicine. What doctor can expect to bring patients back from the brink who does not cling to the hope of life despite impossible odds? However sheer his determination, the future is always uncertain. But surely anyone bold enough to shoulder responsibility for the lives and deaths of others deserves reverence and respect.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay. Alright. That was pretty decent, I guess. I'll be honest. Not the most interesting and eye-catching character for me, gameplay-wise, honestly. And also not the most interesting character for me either, just story-wise, I'll be honest. It's not really the most, catching my attention type of character, I guess. Although he does seem like a pretty good healer, especially with the whole heal on hit type of thing. But yeah. Overall, he was kind of just for me. I'll be real. But yeah. Let's move on to the next video. Alright. Kaveh. Idealistic ambition. Let's go.
When Dory was planning to build her residence, she at first envisaged a cozy luxury home in a quiet spot far from the city, with ample space to house her countless possessions. But with the aid of renowned architect Kaveh, the palace of Alcazar's Array has ended up as an iconic landmark known far and wide. Dory occasionally grumbles about this unexpected twist of fate. But in Kaveh's life, unintended consequences like these are all too typical.
Is that the client? Wait. Oh, it's you!
Seems like a funny character.
Kaveh is rarely without his assistant, Marak, a multifunctional tool that runs on ancient technology. As well as assisting him with routine mapping,
Yo, it looks
Marak
cool.
also helps Kaveh deal with
hologram.
all manner of unforeseen incidents. When trying to strike a balance between aesthetics and practicality, budgeting is an essential skill. When Kaveh crafts landscape, building, and courtyard-type furnishings, some materials are refunded, ensuring efficient utilization. Kaveh's normal attack uses Marak to combo up to 4 strikes, dealing physical damage to enemies.
Yo, it looks awesome.
His charged attack consumes stamina over time to perform continuous rapid slashes, finishing with an especially powerful slash. When he casts his elemental skill, Kaveh attacks using Marak's mapping ability, performing a radial scan that deals AoE dendro damage and causes all dendro cores in range to burst. After unlocking the talent An Architect's Undertaking, when Kaveh is hit by dendro cores damage, including Burgeon and Hyperbloom damage, he will restore HP based on his elemental mastery. This effect can be triggered once per set time period.
Breaking new ground!
Kaveh's elemental burst unleashes the full power of Marak, which maps out a cubic area, dealing AoE dendro damage to all enemies within it, and causing all dendro cores in range to burst. For a set duration, it also enhances Kaveh's combat capabilities by increasing his resistance to interruption, expanding his normal, charged, and plunging attack range, and converting his attacks into dendro damage that cannot be overridden. Additionally, all dendro cores created by your own party members' bloom reactions will deal additional damage when they burst. These effects will be cleared once Kaveh leaves the field. The mind of an artist is always busily conjuring up strange and wondrous ideas, never stopping even in the heat of battle. After unlocking the talent A Craftsman's Curious Conceptions, during the period of Kaveh's elemental burst, after Kaveh strikes an opponent with a normal, charged, or plunging attack, his elemental mastery will be increased. This effect can be triggered once per set time period, and is stackable up to a limit. When the elemental burst duration expires, these effects are cleared.
Okay.
The path of the idealist is rarely a smooth one. Even the kindest of souls must find the strength to confront the obstacles ahead. In battle, Kaveh makes deft use of his elemental skill. He scans for all dendro cores in a certain range, instantly causing them to burst and deal dendro damage to enemies. When energy is full, Kaveh uses Marak at full power, dealing dendro damage to enemies and enhancing his personal combat capabilities for a period of time. Kaveh continues to deal dendro damage with his normal attack and elemental skill, while boosting damage dealt by bursting dendro cores, finally tackling the problems in his life once and for all.
Nice.
Many struggle to understand how Kaveh, despite his academic brilliance, has wound up leading a life fraught with disappointments. The objective truth is that Kaveh is his own worst enemy and brings most of his woes upon himself. And yet, I find myself reluctant to be too critical of him. After all, Surely anyone with a heart would be moved after witnessing Kaveh stand up for what he believes in.
Okay. So he isn't no pushover. Alright. Okay. That's pretty good. I like the concept of using the sort of briefcase as a like a hard light weapon type of deal, or like a hologram type of weapon. I like that. I like that he uses a sword to like he uses the briefcase to like swing around a sword too. That's quite an interesting concept. I like it. He's definitely someone I would consider putting on my pulling. Definitely someone I would consider pulling. Anyways, let's move on to the next video. Kirara, Meow Menta Speed. Let's go.
One courier from Inazuma's Komaniya Express stands head and shoulders above the rest. Instantly recognizable from her twin tails and paw pads, she is well known for her professionalism and excellent customer service.
Oh,
But
she has
nothing
two
speaks to
tails.
her
I actually didn't
popularity
notice
like
that.
her loyal customers, who, impressed by her integrity and can-do attitude, ask for her by name whenever they need an express delivery.
Anything you need delivered?
Gold-level courier Kirara has more than earned her reputation. Be it her delivery speed or package security, she provides a first-rate service by every measure. With her dendro vision on hand, Kirara clears all roadblocks to progress and delivers every order safely and swiftly. Even when in human form, Kirara's feline hunting instinct never sleeps. When Kirara is in the party, animals who produce fowl, raw meat, or chilled meat will not be startled as easily when your party members approach them.
Okay.
Kirara's normal attack can combo up to 4 sword strikes, dealing physical damage to enemies. Using her charged attack, Kirara consumes a set amount of stamina to perform 3 frontal slashes with her claws, dealing physical damage. Tapping
Okay.
Kirara's elemental skill sends her pouncing forth like a cat from the underbrush to deliver a tail-flicking flying kick, dealing AoE dendro damage to enemies. At the same time, Kirara gains a shield of safe transport that absorbs dendro damage with increased effectiveness, and she also becomes affected with dendro for a short time. The shield of safe transport's damage absorption scales off of Kirara's max HP, not exceeding a certain percentage of her max HP. Any remaining damage absorption on a shield of safe transport will be transferred to a new shield when created, and the duration will also be reset. Hold her elemental skill, and Kirara psychs herself up for a same-day delivery. She deploys a shield of safe transport identical to the shield produced by tapping the skill, and also enters the urgent Neko parcel state, curling up into a special express delivery box to move and fight at a faster pace. While in this state, Kirara will deal dendro damage to enemies she runs into. This effect can be triggered once per set time period for each enemy. When the duration ends or the skill is used again, Kirara executes a flip claw strike, which deals AoE dendro damage and is more powerful than the attack performed by tapping the skill. The urgent Neko parcel state also lends Kirara an advantage when adventuring in the wild. While in this state,
the
her
sound
movement
effects are
speed,
so
climbing
cute.
speed, and jumping ability are all increased, though her stamina consumption from climbing also increases. Sprinting or actively canceling climbing will end the state early.
Oh, damn,
The
okay.
urgent Neko parcel state lasts for a limited duration and enters a cooldown when it ends. The longer that the state was active, the longer the cooldown time will be. After unlocking the talent Bewitching Betwitching Tails, when Kirara enters the urgent Neko parcel state using her elemental skill, each collision with an enemy will grant her a stack of reinforced packaging. This effect can be triggered once per set time period for each enemy, and can be stacked up to a maximum of 3 times. When the urgent Neko parcel state ends, each stack of reinforced packaging will create 1 shield of safe transport for Kirara. The damage absorption of shields created in this way is based on that of her elemental skill shield. If Kirara is already protected by a shield of safe transport created by her elemental skill, the shield duration will reset, and any remaining damage absorption will carry over.
Service with a smile.
Aw,
Kirara
she's
uses
cute,
her
man.
elemental burst to punish would-be package thieves, attacking with a special delivery package that deals AoE dendro damage. After the special delivery package explodes, it will split into numerous catgrass cardamoms, which explode and deal AoE dendro damage on contact with an enemy, or after a period of time. Just as a cat's eyes stay sharp in the dark, Kirara adjusts her attacks to suit the needs of the battle. After unlocking the talent Pupillary Variance, Kirara's elemental skill and elemental burst damage are increased based on her max HP.
Okay.
In her Nekomata form, Kirara possesses fearsome yokai powers. However, she prefers to use her abilities to protect her customers' parcels from theft or damage. In combat, Kirara's primary means of support is the shield of safe transport she creates with her elemental skill. In a pinch, she can also switch to her urgent Neko parcel state and dart around the battlefield as the situation demands, while keeping her allies safe. When her energy is full, Kirara drops off a special delivery package, which deals AoE dendro damage to enemies before splitting into catgrass cardamoms,
Okay.
turning package thieves into damaged goods.
Lol, get wrecked by a cat girl.
Being a courier can be very satisfying work. To Kirara, every package safely delivered to a satisfied customer is a huge accomplishment, and a job well done always leaves her in a wonderful mood. Of course, not all packages are fortunate enough to make it into the hands of the customers waiting for them, but I admire Kirara's persistence and patience as she treks far and wide with her unwieldy parcels in hand, determined to see each and every journey through to the end. Perhaps this is the way things should be. After all, given enough time, is there any price too great to pay in order to achieve your goals?
A good question. Good question indeed. Man, that was cute, dude. That was really cute. I liked it. She was a pretty cute character. Her animations was cute, and I do love that little cat box form. I find it really funny. And the sound effects that was made whenever she's in that form is really cute. I won't lie. She just seems like a really cute character to just have around. She may not seem like the strongest, but she is certainly one of the cutest characters in this game. I won't lie. Anyways, with that said, let's move on to the next trailer. Linley, Truth Under the Spotlight. Or Linny, Truth Under the Spotlight. I don't know if I butchered that, but yeah, whatever. Let's go.
Magic is a kind of real illusion, and those few who excel at making illusions that shock and amaze will become renowned among magicians. From the performance posters adorning the opera houses of Fontaine to the hearty recommendations of hotel concierges and conversations with citizens on the streets, it isn't difficult to guess who the title of most popular magician belongs to.
We'll be a traveling magic troupe.
Magic is not simply a stage performance for Linny, for the tricks of the trade have become a part of his everyday life. If you were to liken the battlefield to a stage, Linny's bow and arrows would be his props, while the talented magician himself creates surprises for anyone watching the show. Those who are keen observers are more familiar with their own blind spots. When Linny is in the party, the location of items unique to Fontaine will appear on your minimap, making it easier to gather resources. Linny's normal attack can combo up to 4 consecutive shots, dealing physical damage. With a charged attack, Linny executes a more precise aimed shot that deals increased damage. The shot has different effects depending on how long the charging lasts.
Okay.
At charge level 1, Linny fires off a pyro-infused arrow that deals pyro damage. At charge level 2, Linny fires off a prop arrow that deals pyro damage. After hitting, a Grinmalkin hat will be summoned. Grinmalkin hats can taunt nearby opponents, causing them to attack the hat. Each opponent can only be taunted periodically. When a Grin Malkin hat is destroyed, or its duration expires, it will fire off a pyrotechnic strike at a nearby opponent, dealing pyro damage. Only one Grin Malkin hat can exist at once. It inherits HP in proportion to Linny's maximum HP.
Okay.
In addition, if Linny's HP is higher than a certain threshold when he fires a prop arrow, Linny will consume a portion of his own HP to obtain one prop surplus stack. The number of stacks is limited, and all stacks will be removed once Linny stays out of combat for too long. Linny's HP cannot fall below a certain threshold in this way. After
Alright.
unlocking the talent Perilous Performance, if Linny consumes HP by firing off a prop arrow, the Grin Malkin hat will restore a certain amount of elemental energy after it strikes an enemy, and will gain increased damage based on its attack. Prop arrows periodically call down Spirit Breath Thorns upon the location they hit, dealing Numa-aligned pyro damage. Using his elemental skill, Linny does a flourish with his hat, unleashing a firework surprise when a Grin Malkin hat created by Linny is on the field. The fireworks will cause it to explode violently, dealing AoE pyro damage equivalent to a pyrotechnic strike. Damage dealt by the Grin Malkin hat in this way is considered charged attack damage. When Linny uses his elemental skill, all prop surplus stacks will be cleared, dealing AoE pyro damage to opponents in front of him. Damage will be increased based on the number of stacks cleared, and Linny's HP will be regenerated based on his max HP.
Let's get this show on the road!
Using his elemental burst, Linny unleashes his magic, turning into a fast-moving Grin Malkin cat. This is not to be confused with the Grin Malkin hat. They're two different props.
Okay.
When the Grin Malkin cat gets close to opponents, it will call down flames upon them, dealing up to 1 instance of pyro damage to each opponent.
Okay.
When the duration ends, Linny will dismiss the Grin Malkin cat and ignite magnificent fireworks that deal AoE pyro damage, summon a Grin Malkin hat, and gain 1 prop surplus stack. Linny can also deactivate Grin Malkin cat prematurely. A magnificent performance always leaves the audience yearning for an encore. If the applause is rapturous enough, the magician might even improvise a few new tricks on the spot. After unlocking the talent Conclusive Ovation, Linny deals increased damage to opponents affected by pyro.
Alright.
In addition, each pyro party member other than Linny will increase this damage bonus. The damage increase that can be gained in this way has a maximum limit. Only an actor who has mastered their skills and who can instantly adapt is worthy of being a maestro of magic, and Linny is fully deserving of the title. In battle, prop arrows are Linny's primary source of damage. By continually firing prop arrows, not only can Linny summon Grin Malkin hats and fire off pyrotechnic strikes, he can also gain prop surplus stacks. By using his elemental skill to clear stacks at the right time, Linny can deal even more damage to enemies.
Alright.
When energy is full, Linny can transform into a Grin Malkin cat, moving agilely about the battlefield, getting close to enemies, and delivering a magnificent final performance under a shower of pyrotechnic magic. No one wishes to be tricked, but people still willingly take their seats to watch a magic show whose purpose is to deliberately deceive. Is it to lose themselves in a splendorous illusion, even for a short while, or is it to see through the illusions and trickery? Either way, we need not pry too deeply. For regardless of how real the magic seems, it is but a performance. Just consider it a rare piece of entertainment in a world of fickle fate. Is that not enough?
Alright. He seems pretty fun. He seems pretty interesting. Yeah, Linny seems pretty interesting. Yeah, and I'll be honest, did do a bit of a trial of his character in game. Although I don't think I really did much of his actual supposed gameplay loop. I think it was just literally just trying to rush and try to kill as many enemies as possible in a short amount of time as possible. So I didn't really get to truly experience Lenny and his gameplay loop. But yeah, it's interesting that he uses props and stuff. I like his whole deal. But yeah, that said, let's move on to the next video. Lynette, unmasked from the shadows. Let's go.
Lynette likes to dub herself the multifunction magic assistant, resulting in a common misconception that she represents a new frontier in Fontaine's technology. But everyone who sets out to prove the theory that she's a humanoid mecha comes to the same conclusion. Perhaps you shouldn't take everything a magician says on stage literally.
Is it time for a magic show?
Although an exceptionally keen perception isn't on the list of required skills for a magic assistant, it is what makes Lynette stand out from the crowd. With the help of her animo-vision, she stealthily navigates different locations, gathering intelligence and solving problems from the shadows. I heard that cats often give people the impression of being afraid of water. If that's the case, they should make full use of resources and complete any underwater tasks swiftly and safely. When Lynette is in the party, the locations of nearby revival orbs will be shown on the minimap. Underwater stamina and HP gained from touching the orbs will also be increased.
Okay. Interesting that they have a diving
Lynette's
thing.
normal attack can combo up to 4 strikes, dealing physical damage to enemies. Using her charged attack, Lynette consumes a certain amount of stamina and performs 2 swift slashes to her front, dealing physical damage. By tapping on her elemental skill, Lynette will swiftly use an Enigma Thrust, dealing animo damage. Holding the skill allows her to enter a high-speed pilfering shadow state and apply Shadow Sign to a nearby opponent. Lynette can control her movement direction during this state and can end it prematurely.
Okay, that looks cool. That looks very cool. I love the color palette.
Lynette will unleash her Enigma Thrust, dealing animo damage. If there is an opponent with Shadow Sign applied to them nearby, Lynette will flash to them before using Enigma Thrust. A maximum of 1 opponent can have Shadow Sign at any one time.
Okay.
When this opponent gets too far from Lynette, the Shadow Sign will be cancelled. In addition, when the Enigma Thrust hits an opponent, it will restore Lynette's HP based on her max HP, and for some time afterward, she will lose a certain amount of HP per second.
Okay.
At specific intervals, Lynette will unleash a
an
surging
interesting
blade
mechanic
when she
and
uses
choice.
Enigma Thrust, dealing Usia-aligned animo damage.
Be amazed!
When Lynette casts her elemental burst, she raises her mantle high, dealing AoE animo damage, using skillful sleight of hand to make a giant Bogglecat box appear. The Bogglecat box taunts nearby opponents, attracting their attacks, and deals animo damage to nearby opponents at intervals. When the Bogglecat box comes into contact with Hydro, Pyro, Cryo, or Electro, it will gain the corresponding element, and additionally fire vivid shots that will deal damage from that element at intervals. Elemental absorption of this kind will only occur once during this ability's duration. After unlocking the talent Props Positively Prepped, after the Bogglecat box summoned by Lynette's Elemental Burst performs Elemental Absorption, damage dealt by her Elemental Burst will increase. This effect will persist until the Bogglecat box's duration ends. On the stage, Lynette is Linny's magic assistant, but when she's anywhere else, she uses her clever tricks to help other companions as well. After unlocking the talent Sophisticated Synergy, within a certain period after Lynette uses her Elemental Burst, her party member's attack will be increased based on the number of different elemental types in the party. The more elemental types there are, the greater the increase. Ever observant and supremely stealthy, Lynette is quick to adapt to the needs of the mission and the strengths of her teammates. In battle, Lynette uses her elemental skill to swiftly traverse the field, catching her opponents off guard with her Enigma thrust. When energy is full, Lynette summons a Bogglecat box with a flick of her cloak. This creates ideal conditions for her teammates to work their magic with elemental reactions, leaving her enemies scratching their heads and wondering, how did she do that? It's easy to avoid drawing attention, but it takes extraordinary talent to stay hidden under the spotlight. Quick movements and silent footsteps. Even if you keep your eyes peeled, it may very well be impossible to track the target. Oh, you think that was about Lynette? What if I was talking about a cat? I heard that Lynette is raising kittens at home. Perhaps even at this very moment, from a place you never thought to pay attention to, they're licking their fur and keeping a watchful gaze on your every move.
Heyo. Okay, that was pretty cute. I won't lie. That was really cute. I like that. I will admit, I do like Lynette's design. The cat girl thing, with the whole magician thing, man. I like that, bro. There's just, I don't know why that works. It just works, man. I like it. That just works. I don't know why. Also, I like her gameplay too. Her gameplay seems like pretty fun, especially with the whole, go invisible thing and teleport to the target type of deal. I like that. From what it looks like, she does seem like a sub DPS, which is interesting. I like that. She seems like a pretty cool character, honestly. But yeah, I think that's gonna be it for today's video. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please drop a like on the video. And also, if you want to see more, please subscribe. And please let me know what you thought of the video down in the comments below. And thank you guys again so much for watching. Remember to stay humble, be kind to people. I'll see you guys later.